Welcome to another episode of Jlopez Podcast. I'm your host, George, and today we got a guest out of the blue, my neighbor. We've been going back and forth. When are we going to do the podcast? So, with not much to say, let's just go straight to it. Rene Ayala.
Rene Ayala.
Rene Ayala, where does that come from?
Well, I guess the last name comes from the mountains of between like Spain and France. There's this little mountain ridge called the Ayala Mountains, but the name is a French name. I think my mom just liked it. She met my mom and my dad knew this guy named Rene, and they're like, "Oh, that's a nice name for a girl." I meant guy. And every time people see my name, they always think I'm a girl.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because it's got a...
Yeah, no, Rene, and anything else besides America, besides like Latin America, like everywhere else in the world, Rene is a male name, but in America, it's a girl's name.
Yeah. Yeah. So where are you originally from?
Mexican.
You're Mexican?
Yeah.
You would, no way. You don't look like a Mexican. I mean, not to say anything about Mexican, but...
Yeah. I mean,
how does that? I would expect Colombian.
Yeah, a lot of people say that around here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
think it really depends where I go, because I've gotten Arab. Some people think my dad's like Filipino or something because he does look a little Filipino.
Well, yeah, that's...
But yeah.
How was... You grew up in Mexico or...
Never even been in Mexico.
No. So you grew up in the States?
I grew up here.
Where?
Originally born in Chicago, and then things started getting a little hot and heavy over there, and then we moved to Indiana. This place called White County, Indiana, where there's barely any Latinos. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
But your Spanish is pretty good.
It's gotten better. One of my sisters, the one that lives on the 18th floor, she barely speaks Spanish. And I just started learning it like 4 or 5 years ago when I came here. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to her in Spanish at all.
Yeah, she doesn't really speak a lot of Spanish. And even in my Spanish, when I speak Spanish, I know people can hear the accent. And then I don't have one of those accents from like anywhere, just kind of like I picked it a little here, a little there, a little there. So it's just, it happened.
How was your upbringing in Chicago? To what age?
I think I was like 12.
Till the age of 12?
Yeah. I was like 12, and then
cold,
we
man.
moved to Indiana. Oh yeah, it's so
windy.
It's been cold. I've never gotten used to it. I grew up there. I was born there, but never gotten used to it.
Windy.
As a matter of fact, I don't even like to go visit my family because it's cold. I come up there when it's warm.
Cold and windy.
Here. Cold. Yeah. So funny story about Chicago. So people always bring that up. Chicago's the windy city. Well, it's not because it's windy. Maybe not because all the buildings are there, but they actually called it the Windy City because back in the 1920s, 30s, people were very boastive. They would boast a lot, so they called it were windy. Oh. Like the Windy City, people talk a lot. People they exaggerate too much. Right. That's why they call it the Windy City. It doesn't actually come from the wind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Another fun fact about Chicago: if you go to Chicago, do not ask for ketchup.
For ketchup?
Yeah, they're gonna get mad at you.
Why? Because
we don't put ketchup on hot dogs. We put mustard.
Oh, yeah, what about French fries?
I mean, you can ask them. They're probably gonna charge you for it.
For ketchup?
Yeah.
They're gonna charge you for ketchup.
They don't like it. They don't like ketchup. They're very anti-ketchup.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Worse than maybe close like France when they put a ban on ketchup.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So what's up? You went to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Even colder. What happened there?
Well, technically slower.
You go from cold
technically slower, but I would say Chicago's colder. Yeah, because you can definitely feel it on a drive. If you go like in a spring or the fall, just driving those few hundred miles, you definitely feel that it's a little bit warmer. Just going south a little further. I mean, subtropical, for example, here, like the Bahama Islands.
Right.
Most people think the Bahamas in the Caribbean, but they don't know that the Bahamas start north of us here in Miami.
Right.
They're north of us. It's like that big of a difference and we're subtropical here. So and it's 60 miles north. It's cold.
How do you compare all of that coldness to Florida? How long you been down here?
I've been here 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not leaving.
No,
you're not going anywhere.
I've been everywhere. In
what would you say of Florida in comparison to that cold weather?
Say that again.
What would you say of Florida in comparison to that cold weather?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that I feel at home for the first time ever in my whole entire life. I've never felt at home, but I really feel at home here. I don't want to go. Just the thought of it freaks me out.
Wow.
I just really, really want to stay here. I feel at home. I've never felt Latino.
Wow.
In here, I feel Latino. And it's just it's a good
The
feeling to
melting
feel at
pot.
home. Some people don't know what they want to do for a living. And I think that's horrible. Because that can really hurt you in life.
Right.
Like I don't even know what I want to do for work. They're 40s doing the same thing. They're 50s still trying to hit on girls. It's like they don't know what they want. It's
Midlife
like if you don't have
crisis.
some type of structure, you're just like, damn. What's next? You're gonna buy a red BMW. So it's like, so it's just I think feeling at home, you can make a lot of good decisions just by basically feeling at home. You can have an establishment. You have a rock,
Okay.
or you maybe like getting married.
Yeah.
But if you're in a bad marriage or if you don't feel at home, then you start doing things the wrong way.
Right.
So,
or at least you're not as successful. That's what I tend to see, anyways.
It'll crutch you.
It's not that you can't be successful when you don't feel like I feel at home because I have a home. It's a complete base. You see my wife. I'm from Cuba.
I seen you gave your mom a car.
Yeah, bro.
That's a good feeling.
That shit was dope.
That's a good feeling.
You bought your mom the house.
Well, look, this is the cool thing about this. The
energy
cool
somehow attract,
Yeah, but look, this is the cool thing about, like, for somebody that grows up not having money, and you all of a sudden have it. I think you can relate to this. We have problems with going back down, and we end up, like, at the beginning, we end up overspending. We end up not using the money right, not using it, and then you're like, dude, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Because things starts happening, life gets in the way. You think you're up, and then you always have the fear of, like, being poor, right? Or like always is always there, and then we just operate on this, like, fear factor. Like, today we're feeling good, and you kind of overdo a little bit. Maybe you pay for everybody's food, and then you start making a little bit of money. Family comes over, they all want you to pay. Friends, whatever. And then and us, people like us that grew up poor, we overspend.
100%.
And it happens a lot.
It's a Latino thing.
Not just a Latino thing. It's just it's a poor
mentality. It's a poor man mentality.
And once you start operating on fear, you don't give a fuck what people say. You don't care what people do. You will do this because you got a mission. You got a bigger mission.
Yeah.
And you buying your mom a car, it's like that's a big thing. Something that should be celebrated.
Thank you.
And there's levels to this game, Right. So you go to, like, if you're like Patrick David or somebody like that, somebody that has a lot of money who also has a podcast, like, if you buy his mom a car, it's no big deal. You probably won't even see it, but for us, it's a big deal. We should celebrate ourselves.
Right. Thank you, bro.
And then, as you should.
Yeah,
I'm sure, like, you got podcasts going on, you got your business going on, you got your getting stuff out on social media. You're gonna start getting some people call it the evil eye.
Yeah.
100%. And we just gotta not be scared of that.
It happened to me. In my young age, I made some money and I threw it all away.
Yeah,
parties.
To all of us.
Exactly what you were just saying. Just parties here and there.
Yeah.
Not making it something that would really mean something for somebody. Because in her case, she wanted this car for 20 years, man. As soon as she got to this country 20 years ago, she was like, I want that car.
Yeah, and it's a Honda.
Simple car.
You know what my favorite car was?
It was the most simplest thing in the world to fulfill, by the way.
You know what my favorite car was?
What?
I wanted a 4Runner.
A 4Runner.
I got the 4Runner, and I still got the 4Runner.
No way.
Every time I try to upgrade, I'm like, no, man, this is God's gift. I'm keeping this one.
This is what you wanted, anyways.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, bro. That for her, she wanted the exact Honda Pilot.
I mean, of course, I got other cars, but
Yeah, of course.
I keep that one.
She wanted the exact Honda Pilot for 20 years. She worked all her life. She did everything was right. Somehow, some way, mentally, she wasn't able to get it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, and I'm buying trucks I'm buying vehicles for the company. I'm buying this, I'm buying that. It's like, all right, this is time for me. I even spoke to my wife about it. This is time for me to get our car. Like,
it's a write-off anyways, babe.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even, it's like, bro, that's a dinner.
Yeah.
That's less than a dinner a night. You know, one of those weekends in Miami, you go out and me and my wife just spent way over whatever that would it's gonna cost. Like,
Oh, of course.
it's
Yeah.
not a write off.
Yeah.
That
And how old are
long.
you?
I'm 31.
You're 31.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna be 38. I thought you were about the same age as me.
Mm.
So you're young now.
Yeah, because I'm bald.
That could be a part
It
of
gives it
you know.
away.
Sometimes people think I'm young, but I think it's because I'm short.
38.
Yeah.
38, man. Shoot. Oh, you still rocking it. You go to the gym.
Yeah. And your daughter's how old?
My daughter's
Like 15, 14,
she's
something like
turned
that?
17.
Oh, she's older than her. Okay.
She did a party here, bro. She blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a party.
In a good way?
In a good and bad way. She
Oh,
tore
okay.
this place up.
Oh, okay.
It was a good party, but tore the place up.
Yeah.
What is that? Your nephew? Your nephew you hang around with?
No, it's my son.
That's your son?
Yeah.
The one at the barbershop?
Yeah, it's my son.
That's your son.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I had him when I was really young.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
First
go to the same school.
time, like with, let's just say, I don't know how much I can say on cameras, but it was one of those things where, like, I wanted to go through the police academy. And I was going through it, you know, and all that. My friends are they're like, "Oh man, you're still a virgin and all this." But I used to tell people I used to do this and do that, and I knew everything was going, but nobody knew that I hadn't touched none, At least not even seen a real life nipple, So it was like,
Wow.
it was like a one night thing type of deal, and
No.
same time, and then it was interesting.
How old is he now?
He's 17.
17, same
Yeah.
age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a cool one though. That's a
It's
story
cool
to tell.
It's cool because
I mean, it's cool. When did it start being cool? Like after how many years? Yeah, that's an adult life, no?
It's now.
Now it's like, all right, whatever. I can say the story. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, I mean, I wasn't young per se, and especially for like Latino. I mean, like people in Colombia, Mexico, Cuba, they've been having kids at like 14. So for me, I was a really late bloomer.
Right.
But it was still young for me,
Right.
to have them. So I like to say that we grew up together.
Nice.
And at that time, I wasn't in the best mentality.
Okay.
I still had a lot of, I wouldn't call it trauma, but generational trauma that you kind of bring from your ancestors and, and your family and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, And you carry it over to you and you start teaching it to your kids.
That's so powerful, bro.
Yeah. And I'm sure you had to deal with this. Like
Yeah,
breaking
yeah.
away from
As
the trauma.
kids, especially when you start like we were talking about the beginning, when we start coming up with a little bit of money, it's like, all right, who am I really?
Yeah.
You know? You go through these identity checks, like who am I really?
You feel like a fake most of the time.
Yeah, who am I doing it for anyways?
Yeah.
Like, and then like, of course, when I realign myself, I'm like, okay, I'm a family man. This is who I am.
Yeah.
Because Miami can make anything out of you.
That's the Miami effect.
Yeah, Miami effect is like you can get high on anything,
Mhm.
Parties, workaholic, whatever it is.
But it also humbles you.
Well, in a way,
Yeah.
depending.
Like I remember when I first got here, now that we're on the subject, like me, estaba feito. I've always been kind of ugly, but like I came here like
Feito, no way, bro.
feito, yeah, all the time.
Really?
Like it was hard for me. Like I always had a good game,
Right.
And I think people would kind of, it's kind of like
Charisma.
like
you
one
had
of-
the
like one
you
of
had the
those-
charisma.
like one of those pudgy dogs. Like you don't really think they're cute, but there's something cute about them. So it's like
That's crazy.
they're loving the way they snort, whatever. But I remember when I first came to Miami, like I always wanted to be with beautiful women.
Right.
Always wanted to be with beautiful women. And coming from a feíto type of thing, and then I come here and all of a sudden, like people think I'm attractive. I'm like, wow. They're coming
Wow.
up and talking to me. I'm like, wow. So like
Okay.
the first 2 years here, I was like going everywhere, with everybody.
You had all types of attraction.
Man. It was like,
See.
but then like something happened.
But how did that change though? Was it a mentality change or was it a state change?
It's like when you keep somebody, in prison, or you keep somebody, locked up, or when you restrict somebody from doing what they really want to do. Like once they get access to it, they're gonna go with it.
Right.
Right.
So you felt like that in Miami. It's like, yo.
Yeah, I was free.
Wow.
I was free, and I was very loose with my money. And
So you were just 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Just of, but
Good life.
it humbled me.
It humbled you.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I don't think people give Miami enough credit. They always say like, "Oh, I don't want to move to Miami. Miami's too crazy." Miami, they're like, "No, you're not. you can select where you want to live. Like where we live is very nice.
It's very nice.
It's
yeah.
very nice, and
It's very different too from the
very
Miami.
different.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, but if you want to go party, you want to get wild, drive 30 minutes that way.
Mm.
You know, you can do. You want to go to the nude beach, go right there. You want to go to just to the beach any day. There it is.
5 minutes away.
And the funny thing is that we are where people vacation, so we don't feel the sensation of we need to go out and travel, so we work.
Ooh.
And
that's where the spirit comes from.
Yeah, and it's
Miami is a vacation because, for example, yesterday I was out on the skis with my wife. It was on Monday.
I see that chasing dolphins.
Yeah, chasing dolphins.
Yeah,
like, and it's become a thing now.
For most people that's a life thing. Most people will sit there and sometimes, man, especially me, man, I'm so bad at like sometimes appreciating where I am. And I was looking at your story yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, like, that's my neighbor right there. Yeah. Like right next door.
Literally.
You can probably hear me, probably smoke my cigar.
Yeah.
I smoke every single day and all that. And this guy's just out there, on a work day, on a Monday, and he's chasing dolphins. Some people, that'll be their highlight of their life.
That's great.
You understand that?
Yeah.
He just did that on a Monday day.
I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we're going to go to the beach. I posted a video the other day about it, by the way. I was like, okay, we're going to the beach. It's like it took 2 days. Preparation, wake up at 5 a.m. the next day, take like so many buses in Cuba, exactly, and then
to get to the beach.
It was like 4 hours to get to the beach.
Yeah. After
all the meal prepping my mom did the night before, the gathering of everybody. Okay, we're gonna go this way, that way. Don't miss the bus. You're gonna be late. Whatever. It's like right now the beach is 5 minutes away.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And going back to what I was telling you about the whole 2 years I had with all these girls, and there's a point where, and this is something that everybody should really pay attention to what I'm saying. If you ever do come to Miami, there's going to be a time, if you're a good person, or if you're trying to be a good person, or if you somehow got your life somewhat put together, okay, it means you're going to find a time in Miami where all that stuff's going to go away because it's so easily accessible, and things are easy, you don't want them. You always want the things you don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like with these girls, like I went over there,
especially from a Latino mentality.
Yeah, and it's like there's gonna be a point where like you don't really care about the girls anymore because there's so many girls that are every 15 minutes there's a cute girl, every single 15 minutes a girl with a fat ass, there's a girl with this, now she's Asian, now she's brown, now she's Russian, now she's this, now she's Brazilian, now she's Venezuela. Oh my God, Colombia, look at this, oh, it's a papacito. And like it's so accessible that you don't even want it anymore.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, it makes you actually appreciate a woman from the inside.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you still want her hot. Don't get me wrong. You want her beautiful enough because what if you have some offsprings? We're all, we're trying to reprocreate, at least us as men.
Yeah.
But eventually you're just gonna be like, I just want a good girl. And for those people you can't find a good girl in Miami, if you can't find a good girl in Miami, you can't find a good girl anywhere. It's you.
Yeah.
A
lot of people do say that.
Yeah.
I had
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
You can find anything here.
Yeah,
truly.
Anything.
There's hard workers.
Yeah.
And there's, workers.
Yeah. In Miami, so relaxed. And I don't think people understand how small Miami is. You can be anywhere in an hour. And they complain about the traffic. And I'm like, go try to do that in Chicago.
Yeah.
Try to do that in New York City. Try to do that in LA.
Right.
And then you're gonna be like, damn, Miami's nice with traffic. We complain because we gotta sit an extra 20 minutes when it's usually a 20-minute drive, 40-minute drive. Like, dude, you could be anywhere. You can be here in Coral Gables in an hour. Yeah, we got a good mixing culture right here. Yeah. So and if you're gonna work hard in Miami, you gotta run circles around everybody. Because everyone's so relaxed here.
Yeah. They just work to live. They just go to work so they can go to sleep when they get home, and same thing. Saturday again, because barbecue with the family
like that here.
Exactly why we went out on the skis. It's like, all right, whatever, like we're having a bad day. How do you have a bad day in Miami?
It's hard.
If you let it be.
Yeah. It's really hard.
If you let the mentality of sinking in the Miami stress, it'll hurt you.
What stress?
The stress that everybody lives here, bro. Like, like the non-regular entrepreneurs, they live with stress. Everybody lives with stress here in Miami.
We definitely bring that here. Yeah. We definitely create our own stress. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying.
Like I'm from Chicago. We always fight, but that's how we do it. This is what we talk like Italians. We got, They're always fighting, but they're not really fighting. You know, well, you're Cuban, right?
I'm Cuban, yeah.
You guys
yeah,
talk loud all the time. You know exactly what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. Cubans are always fighting if you see it from an outside perspective.
Yeah, but they love each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Then,
But they're not really fighting.
They're never fighting.
No.
It's just that we're just loud.
Yeah.
And then you hug. The hug at the end is like, where they're fighting is like, no, we're not fighting.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, bro. So, you're all the way out here. You live 2 crazy years. I would see that of anybody coming to Miami the first year, the first 2. I wouldn't expect nothing to be as they thought it was gonna be.
No.
So you finally lined yourself up after 2 years?
Yeah.
Or it took a little bit more?
No, it's just like I said, you know, things get boring. Like I said, anything that's too excessive, you get boring. Then you start thinking to yourself, like, you know what? Like, I need to build a foundation.
Okay.
Like, money ain't always gonna be easy. There's gonna be ups and there's gonna be downs.
Yeah.
You know. And then at that time, I got really big into the Book of Solomon. They started playing over and over and over, and it's just all these small quotes that it gives you, and then it just started putting a little life into perspective.
Okay.
You know, and and I've always been didn't really know where my religious stance was.
Okay.
You know, I got Jewish family, I got Catholic family, I got Christian family, and so those are kind of like little fights. You know, you kind of always kind of like, you know, you're trying to figure out who I am, you know, and coming to Miami like really helped me figure it out, being by myself, allowing myself to do the mistakes, you know.
Yeah, because everybody's been left behind. What do you got down here? Your sister, your son?
My sister and my brother-in-law just got here.
Yeah.
I think it was September 10th.
Yeah, they moved into our spot, to our building.
Yeah.
On the 18th, yeah.
I walked in with their dog at your apartment once. He was about to eat your dogs.
My little dog was about to eat yours.
Yeah.
She's a beast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's always trying to get
That's crazy. Yeah. After that, my wife's like, where the fuck is your gun? It's like, okay, shit, I just got home. It's by the nightstand.
Mine too. Mine's right by the front door. Got one in the room, one in each car.
Right after that, we never left the door open, by the way.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, fuck
I was
that.
Like,
it's like,
why'd you leave the door open? I'm like, did I really just say that to them?
It was, I don't know. It was like, it's the most secure place anyways.
It
like,
is. Ain't nothing going to happen
chilling,
there. That's for sure. You know,
but that's how we got to kind of, one of the things is, okay, who are you, bro? Who's my neighbor?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Was it you that called me the police on me one day?
The police?
Yeah. I was being loud, dude.
No.
Yeah.
I've never called the police on anybody.
No. Some neighbor did.
No, I don't like
I remember. It was like,
I don't like
and I was like, kind of like when you moved in, and it was like, okay, man, this guy just called the police on me. Like, what the, you know? He just moved in.
I know there has been somebody calling the cops because you know our
somebody
neighbor upstairs. You know who that guy is?
We're being chimoso right here, so you guys know about our neighbors. We're trying to find out who the chimoso is.
Yeah, but do you know who our neighbor is upstairs?
I don't.
He is
That's what happens when you live in a building.
Like like he's like the #1 chiropractor in America. He does all the celebrities.
No way.
He's like, I'm a chiropractor.
Really?
Yeah, he's right upstairs.
So
he's always partying. Like every other day, he's partying.
Oh, then he didn't call nobody.
No, but you know, I just accepted that. You know, that's gonna be Miami, so I don't really care about that. And noise doesn't bother me.
It's a good building, by the way. It's just I know I'm loud. It's a Cuban thing. I know I'm loud.
I'll tell you one thing that does bother me is lights. What?
The building on the front.
Oh my god.
The building of that. No, once that, and we're getting another 2 right there. Which, by the way, if you want to buy in the building right in front, you should talk to us.
Oh, because your wife's a real estate agent.
My wife is a real estate agent. She's selling apartments there.
I'm not sure exactly what my next move is, but I know I want something to be mine.
A house or an apartment?
I think I want a house.
Yeah.
I do want a backyard and I do want a pool.
I want somewhere where I can have my boat.
Your boat, yeah. So you need a driveway.
So I'm thinking more of like right here, Sunny Isles, where I can just dock the boat on the back.
Sunny Isles?
I'm a water kid.
Yeah.
I gotta, if I had the worst day of my life and I can just go out in the salt water, if I can go out into the ocean at least to grab that smell, oh man, I'll pay the millions for that. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think I'll stay another year.
Maybe me too. It really depends on what happens next.
Like you said, I feel home now. The same story. I feel kind of home now. My family's together. We were in West Palm a year ago. We were in Coral Gables 2 years ago. So we kind of been moving.
Mhm.
And this place feels at home. You know, this place feels the Fabi's going to good school. My wife feels like it's a good place where we have a lot of new construction real estate going on around.
Yeah.
We don't need to go, you know.
Yeah.
And if I do move again, having all that expense, I'll probably wait another year and get that house.
Yeah.
Get something definitely for me.
How long have you been?
I might invest into that building right up front.
Yeah, that's nice. It's gonna go up. We got the hospitals going up. We got the.
And then we got another two. You see the empty spot right next to us?
Mhm.
There's gonna be another two buildings.
And then
another two towers.
behind those two little buildings, he's gonna build that. That road's gonna open. You know that road?
Yeah.
He's gonna open
There's
straight
gonna
to
be
the
two
sky.
towers there.
Yeah.
I've already seen the build up. It's crazy.
Are we talking about the two big ones beside me on the right?
So our balconies kind of see the same building right up front, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you look down, where that road, you
Yeah,
know
to the
what?
left. Yeah, those two, there's gonna
If
be
you
two
go
buildings there,
straight,
32.
if you go straight, there's gonna be two buildings there.
Yeah, 32. But I'm talking about to the right, like going across where like the paddle place is. There's gonna be two more complexes there.
Yeah.
But like the little ones.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
ones.
So
Right by here too. As soon as you get out of here, right next to Publix,
are you thinking about getting
in
a
front of the
contract?
Range Rover. In front of the Range Rover is gonna be a huge villa there.
Yeah, but there's gonna be like Airbnb something, right? Like Airbnb. approved
Something's
or
got to
something
be
like that?
Airbnb. Everything is Airbnb now.
Yeah. You thinking about getting a contract out there?
I think in the building right up front, it's more luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got some pretty nice contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have right now?
I got a few accounts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
One of our fair accounts, I can say, you know, we have a lot of accounts. Some of them don't like to be mentioned.
I understand that.
You know, it's the privacy of whoever's we work for.
Yeah.
But probably we can say we work for prestigious hotels,
Nice.
and one I could say is one hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's my favorite smell. I carry that smell in my
one
house.
hotel.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I love the smell. That's why I put it in my
Yeah.
my unit so it always smells like
it
the
goes
one
it
hotel.
goes into the AC.
It helps to manifest. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
smell. You just like be walking. Your
You
house,
stayed
like,
at that
"Oh,
one
smells
hotel?
expensive." Yeah, I stayed a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah. As like when I first came, I
So
think I rented it there for a month.
that's a whole cruise. Have you ever the way I see one hotel or like any hotel, like big hotel industry? Because imagine this is a building, a hotel, a residence, and a Airbnb as well. It's a huge compound.
Yeah.
And if you see the back end, it's like there's hundreds of people working
Mm-hmm.
nonstop. Like it's a nonstop industry.
Yeah.
And that's what I get to see. That's what intrigues me. Like the back end, like you know, there's the kitchen opens up at 3 a.m. while there's another one fired up. The rooftop is still going at 5. It's crazy. Whatever time you go there, there's people working.
Yeah.
It's like a cruise.
Yeah. No, it's really nice. Yeah. I've had some few friends that live there. I lived there at one point, you know, for a month while I was transitioning through apartments. So yeah, I
Nice.
understand that.
Yeah, because it's got the residence, Romney Palace, one hotel residence, and of course, like the majority is Airbnb out for sure.
Let me ask you a question. When did you decide you wanted to do this?
Oh man, the podcast, the interviewer
No, I'm
turns
talking
into
about your business.
my business.
Mhm.
Oh, my business, Jlopez Air Conditioning.
Mhm.
I didn't want to start my business.
You didn't? It was like something just happened?
So this has been in my. I've been in air conditioning since I got to this country, pretty much.
Mhm.
My uncle owns a big air conditioning company. So when I got here, he kind of adopted us. My mother and I went to Orlando, and he was a very good air conditioning guy. Matter of fact, he was a mechanical engineer. And
And then you did it to help out him. Then you started learning everything. You
he
picked
would
up
pick
your
me
own
up. He would pick me up from school. I have another call. I have this. I have that. I would, yeah, let's go. And I became his helper. I had like 11 years old.
thing. Did you always have like the entrepreneur spirit?
That comes from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes from my uncle.
Me too. Mine
Yeah,
came from my
he's the
uncle.
only one though, because my background is everybody. We got teachers in house. You know, we got architects, financial. You know, most of my cousins are to the point. Went to college, everything. I didn't go that route.
Well, you come from a better family than I did. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
one uncle that was entrepreneurial. Well, my grandpa kind of was too.
The thing is that for us is like the best route was you go to school, you get a degree, and you work for somebody. This guy, my uncle, just he did get all types of degrees because his mom was a teacher, his dad was a teacher. To the most prestigious schools in Cuba, by the way. I know till this day a lot of older folks that were they went to their school and it was like they speak so highly of them.
Yeah.
My uncle was he worked we kind of have a similar story. He was working for a company and they told him you can't sell, and he was like, all right, it's like
He's getting capped.
yeah, he was getting capped because of your language. You have to be able to do the whole presentation in English, and his English wasn't good.
So how does someone sell to a big company like that? It's not like you go door knocking. Like you put a contract as the bids.
So we started same way. I started residential. So long story short is he takes on the company. I go to school, whatever. I end up in a bad situation, and he's like, "All right, you come work for me." Whatever I know till this day, I owe it to this man.
Just to keep you busy?
Just to keep my head out of the street,
Yeah.
Just to keep me off the street. It's like, all right, cool. Exactly. I'm gonna keep you busy here.
Same thing with me.
I've learned a whole lot.
Yeah.
I learned everything. I've learned from new construction to, man, I was in a project from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. nonstop, same day. Next, reading blueprints, talking to architects, you name it.
So do you know how to do like the vents for like the cigar lounges and all that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, it's mainly what we do. We do mechanical.
Okay, because City of Miami, we've had a lot of trouble in City of Miami trying to open up that cigar lounge.
I know.
It's just been about a
City of Miami tends to get intense.
Yeah.
You got to know some people.
And that we did.
Yeah.
We're not gonna mention any names, but
we had to do. Off the record, I love Miami people. Shout out to everybody that's watching. That you guys are doing your job.
Yeah.
They all got to do their job because listen. Let's be honest. I've seen some buildings that have passed even inspection right to this day. That's is clearly saying that there's a conduit right here and it's like 20 feet that way. It's like what's happening here? Like
they were like want to stop by
brand new buildings that are already people living there. It's like it's crazy. Whatever's on the blueprints, it's nowhere compared to what's there.
People do that. They'll fix something and then they'll get it checked off and they'll move it and exchange it however they need to.
But anyways, when it's long story short, I go work on my own north for the big dogs, for the Americans. It was kind of always a dream, as a Latino. Like work for Americanos. Trabaja la los Yuma, que eso es, work for the real big dogs. So I went and did that for a while. And when I got back to Miami, I had completely left the industry. I went and started doing Herbalife.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one company I don't
I got to like the top in my industry of air conditioning. And I said, I leave it all.
No, Herbalife.
And I started doing Herbalife.
Yeah,
full
I've
time.
had a mixed feeling. It's like, Herbalife is I feel like they're taking advantage of a lot of Latinos. But I do love the husband though, Eric Prince. Eric Prince, he's to me, he's one of the most genius people in the whole entire world. His wife started the Herbalife thing and he started becoming a contractor. A Blackwater?
No.
Blackwater was they made a whole movie about it. But it was a security company. And then went overseas and they ended up having like firing. I forget which. I think it was not Lebanon. It was Iran or something. But anyway, so now he's on the news a lot. But this guy is a genius. I don't have no idea why he's not in politics right now. But he is a smart guy. Look him up sometime. Eric Prince.
I'll look him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then I did Herbalife and it worked. Till I decided to go back into. So this is actually a third company I built. They asked me to come in as a general manager for another company. Won't say no names. We blew it off the records. It was a successful company all around. I partnered him with another guy, and we were getting sort of big. And he was like, "This is too much havoc." I was like, "What? We're only getting started." So in reality, I was kind of forced into. I literally wrote out my tax guy and told him, "Yeah, listen, open up a company so this guy can pay me because he's complaining about taxes and this and that." I was like, "All right, cool, just Jlopez." That's the first thing I thought. So it was like, I didn't open it to be this company. I opened it because I needed to open a company regardless. And then a few months later in December, we have a break off. It's like, all right, you go your way, I'll go my way. And I was like, wow, I got no license. What am I gonna do now? With my wife, it's like, okay, where's my income is gonna come from? And she tells me, well, you've been doing everything anyways. Start your company.
Without a license, or you just
no? Of course, we 2 months later we finally got a license. We got all types of insurance, and we started from scratch.
Yeah, that's why it's good to have a wife, man.
Yeah,
you know, because like sometimes they can really level you up if you get the right.
If
one.
you get the right one,
yeah.
If you got the right one, she's my. I love my wife to death.
Yeah, it's just and you did it young.
We come from hard bottoms. The other day I posted the picture. We were in a Toyota. And we used to see, like, you know, when you see Instagram,
mm-hmm.
and you see a lot of motivational things, like a guy and a girl with a badass car and a badass Rolex, and
mm-hmm.
and we used to just dream of all that stuff. You know, it's
mm-hmm.
like, wow, one day. And the other day, you know, our daughter just takes a picture from the back, and we're just vibing, right? And I was like, damn, we dreamed of this
like
3 years ago. Like
this.
We dreamed of this. Can you look at it? Can you look up that picture that you remember? You took a picture. Remember? Can you look it up? She was like, no, I don't have it. She's like, yeah, you have it. Look it up. I was like, wow, this was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
This is what we can do in 3 years.
Imagine. I've manifested a few things like that myself.
Yeah, manifestation is one of the biggest things we do. Like now to this day, it's like I use it a little. I used to just think it works. Till now, it's like I know it works. I'm gonna use it every time I can.
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing, you know, it's like there's some people out there that just like always have something bad going on.
Because it's a state of mind, bro.
I know.
It's a state of mind.
You got to put enough things behind you so you start propelling yourself forward. And then the harder you work, the luckier you get. All of a sudden, things come easy. People think it's easy. People think it happened overnight. But no, it didn't come overnight. You know, you've been working through just inch by inch every single day. And, you know, and having the right woman, not going out and partying, doing the things, you know, making sure, and then having to provide. I think that really makes a man nowadays. Right. There's guys out there that I swear that I've seen this happen with my own eyes. Guys that claim they're millionaires. You know, I've seen this happen. And hopefully he doesn't watch this podcast. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. But he'll sit there, have a baby and everything. And I'm just like, you know, like asking me to let them borrow money. You know, I'm like, oh, give me 10 today. Like, you know, like, bro. And then I see them, but they're boasting about it on Instagram and everything. Then you see them and they wouldn't even they'll split the bill with their own wife. I mean, I get it comes from the same income, but you know, like, but bro, like to do it in public is a little.
So
like, bro,
I got to think with that. I got to think with that, and I'm
especially when you're dating, like you're really gonna date somebody.
I got to think with that because at the beginning of a relationship, you know, I was kind of like, all right, who am I going out with? Are we splitting the bill? And 3 years later, we're at a hotel, blah blah blah, and she tells me, we're at the balcony, and she's like, "What do you always pay?" I'm like, you taught me that. Because whenever we did split the bill, you were like, doesn't one person has enough money to cover the whole bill and then we'll figure this out later and you can transfer me? Like,
maybe.
And if not, okay, I'm not hanging out with you no more. But you know, when you go out and it's like the end of the night and there's a bunch of cards there, like, She was always complaining of that, and she was like, oh, why doesn't one person pay the bill? Mm-hmm. And then it all gets split. And then 3 years later, she's like, why do you always pay the bill now? It's like, if I know I'm going to go out, it's because I got it.
Right, because you're inviting.
Yeah. I'm not only inviting, but if I go out and you're coming with me, and I don't think for a second that I can pay for your bill, yo, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Simple. Because I don't know where you stand. Yeah. Why would I push you through a situation where you might think we're going somewhere, you're like, oh man, I don't fit here, because we all got different budgets. Yeah. You know? Yeah. It's just how what it is. Yeah. But if we're hanging out and we continue the night, it's like, why would I ask you for half of the bill?
But I think for us as Latin men, we feel like we're supposed to. all the time.
I don't know. It's for me. It was kind of like a thing. Like we're not supposed to, but it's like, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I be allowed and you know an abundance way of providing to whoever's around me?
Well, I have a
and it
theory
feels
on
good.
that. Well, it does feel good, but I also have a theory on that. Okay.
Because by the way, I was damn broke.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was
I'm
damn
sure.
broke. I was hanging out with people like, okay, you got my bill. Like, I got to a point where I was like, yo, like, I'm coming with you. I'm broke.
Yeah.
Can you get my bills? Like, no. I was like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I was straight up. Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. You know?
Yo, like, where are we going? McDonald's? Yeah, I can't go.
Yeah.
Can you get me a McDonald's, or I'm just gonna sit there and starve?
Yeah, but this goes back to what we were talking about, though. You know, like the whole manifestation thing. Like, I feel like it works in every single way. You know, I treat.
Yeah, but life still will give you a lesson, even though you believe in manifestation. It'll crush you in the face, bro.
Of course, it has to
and
test
it did
you.
To me, of course.
It has to test you. It's like, and again, I feel like I've been talking to my son a lot, so I feel like I'm always explaining to him. Like I'm talking to you like he said, like you're 17, because I keep thinking of my son here, and I keep telling him about money, and like, you can't just go out and spend all the money on your friends. Like they're inviting you out to go out. Like, don't pay for their bill. Like, you know, like, go eat before, you know, whatever you do. But like, you can't be paying for all their bills. And I'm like, like money is like a girl. You know, it's like if you sit there, you're giving her out to everybody, you're doing this, you're not paying attention to it. You just every time you get it, you just put our money. It's gonna be like, Papi, you don't love me. Like, you just keep giving me out to everywhere else. I'm gonna go to everywhere else. The pandemic taught us this. Look where the money ended up. You know, it ended up in the same hands from before. The few people that knew how to take care of it used it well.
Yeah.
If not, money's gonna be like, hey, you know, like, you don't love me. You just keep spending me. You just keep using me. Okay, fine, I'll leave. And it's not coming back.
No.
You can try to beg for it. You might get lucky if you send some real nice roses, and maybe you can't find someone better than you. But you know,
you can't buy love.
No, you can't. You know, like, you gotta love.
And
money.
the more you do,
baby, we're not going out today.
The more you do is the worse it gets.
Yeah, yeah. But you gotta be like, hey, baby, look, I got you right here, $1,000. We're not gonna go out tonight, okay? I'm gonna save you. It's gonna be like, why can't we go out? Why can't we do this? Why don't we ever go out? Okay. And you just wait a little bit. You wait a little bit. Later on, you get her a business, aka you earn a business. And then it's like, oh, okay. Now you got now that girl appreciates you. She knows the sacrifice you got there together. You know, now you got 2 incomes.
Right.
You know, and you can start working towards that. But you know, money's just like anything else. Everything vibrates in the world, and you know, and you know, if you don't take care of it,
it goes away real fast.
Away. It's gonna go away. I promise you, it's gonna go away. Don't be giving it away.
Life will all the time, real fast.
Real fast. Things can
My
happen.
wife and I have multiple incomes, multiple business. Yeah. We've been through ups and downs. Yeah, for sure. Like it's good to have somebody like that, for sure.
So
because there's a lot of girls, like you said, there's a lot of girls out there, like not to judge nobody, but yeah, it's like, when is enough?
But at the same time,
the best hotel, like the best dinner.
Yeah, but I feel like Miami's one of those places where a man really has to be a man.
Yeah,
like you ain't gonna be dating no brokies around here. Like, you know, and girls don't usually come to Miami to be good girls, at least the imported ones, you know. So they're looking for a man, they're looking for status. If you don't got it, you ain't gonna get it, you know.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes I feel like Miami brings the man out of people. If not, you're gonna be going back to wherever you came from. They don't spit you out.
Miami's tough, man, because what we usually hear as Latin is like, Miami's tough. Miami difícil. Pero you stay here for all your life. Like, why would you make it hard on yourself?
Yeah.
If you know you're in Miami, like, just try to make a living anyways. Like, if you provide service, just by simply providing whatever service you want and doing it the best way possible, you'll make a whole lot of money.
We all need AC. You know,
we all need anything in life, bro.
Yeah.
We all need anything in life to be able to be human, right? So it's like, that's kind of like how I see it is, either I work for somebody, or now I have a lot of people and a lot of family working for me that I can provide through me. Yeah. You know, that's what the entrepreneurship in me kind of just keeps going when there's dark times. It's like, now there's a lot of people,
and maybe it's even harder.
It's like now a lot of people are relying on you. Not only on the fact that you're going to pay them, but it's a lot of families behind whoever you're going to provide for this table. So,
you know what I'm saying? Responsibility
the family
for
business
man makes a man.
Yeah.
But your man has to take some type of responsibility.
100%, bro. 100%.
Man, when my kid got here, things changed.
Things do change.
Yeah.
And now he's an adult. Now you can talk to him differently.
Yeah, it's like yesterday we were at the gym and like Kobe, like, remember your last name, remember where you came from. And the guy that owns the gym, he's like, that's good motivation. I'm like, no, man, I'm not telling him remember your name, like, to be proud and be prideful. I'm telling him, remember where the fuck you came from. Remember who we are. We don't want to be those people.
Right.
To most people, that's a motivational thing, not for us.
Right.
For us, it's like, we got to remember who you are. Remember your last name. Remember where you came from. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we got to get to work.
Yeah.
We don't want to go that way.
Yeah. I think the other day he even talked to me about I'm gonna do this and that, and then I'm gonna go get to work. I'm like, how old are you, kid? Like, yeah, he's got that work mentality.
He does. He works out every day. He makes money by working out. I don't want him to have a job. I don't want him to even think about having a job. I'm like, bro, no, you're gonna die on your own sword.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die on my own sword. So you're gonna die on your own sword. And we gotta try not to die. Like, no, like, you're
We're
not
survivors.
Like, God, the last thing I want is my wife or my son having a boss, and I can't even go on vacation because they got to ask another man for permission to go on vacation with me. Ask my daughter, my son to be like, hey, go ask that man to let you hang out with your own father, or to ask that man to let you hang out with your own husband.
That's crazy. It's been a long time since I thought of that.
It freaks me out. My face is getting red right now just thinking about it. It freaks me out.
No, and I put it into perspective now because I think about it. I'm like, when we went to Georgia not too long ago, it was like the only person that had to think of the days was my sister, but she's still her business owner. She still owns her business. Of course, it's a small business. My mom works for me, so who she's gonna ask? And my wife and I have we have businesses, so who are we gonna ask? We ask ourselves. So now that you think of it, it's like, imagine if I would have had to tell my wife, even my wife, can you get 5 days off? It's like,
even I know you got 2 weeks of vacation, but don't take 2 weeks. You might get fired.
When you come back, there's no job.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. A lot of people are living in Miami, by the way. Yeah. They don't see it. But I was living that reality. I got fired once. I was like, right after a multi-million-dollar project, by the way, I got fired. I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Like, how do I go back to that?
You suck as an employee, just like me.
And then don't get me wrong. I was my only employee for the company as well. And I had to struggle through the beginning. I couldn't even pay a helper.
Yeah.
So
like sometimes
it is nice to not being even thinking of vacation, because all I did was grind for a lot of my time. To like now it's like, okay, now let's plan out how we're gonna vacation so it makes sense. You know, like sometimes you just let's just think of something. Let's go to New York next weekend. Oh shit, can you even go to New York?
Yeah,
for 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to move a certain way, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
What is all this hard work for if you can't take off? So my ideal plan is, let's say in 10 years from now, is I'll take off for a whole month or two.
Yeah.
I don't want to retire. I don't think of retirement of like, okay, I'm going to retire. I don't know about you. You think you'll retire?
I think I would be too bored.
Yeah. I always talk about it too. Like, if you see my podcast, it's like, what's retirement to you anyways? From a Latin family, is like, you don't ever retire.
No.
The other day, for example, my Aro, my uncle we were just talking the other day, where he's got an extremely successful company, and he comes with this dream and passion. I'm like, when is enough? He's like, no, it's just something still there. I gotta see it through. I gotta see it through. It's like, but I think it's a mentality.
But I think you would be the same way. I think if you, whatever that number is in your head, that it's that X amount of money is exactly what you want. Even if you had that money, I don't think people like me and you would be happy. I think you would want to invest in something else and do something else.
For sure.
Something I love about the Jewish community is that their whole thing about their life is teaching their kids how to work and then they got to leave for 2 generations. That means they got to leave for their grandkids, not their son. Your son is going to work with you. You're providing for your grandson, your son's son.
Right.
Okay. So the ball never stops. It keeps on going, and versus America, we give it all to our kids, and then our kids either splurge it or do something well with it. By the second generation is all gone.
Yeah.
So like, but if you're working for your grandson, like, look, I'm going to take care of your grandson. I'm going to pay for your grandson's school. I'm going to pay for this. Okay. But you got to pay for your grandson's stuff. So you better be thinking about that. You're thinking way
ahead of the game.
Way ahead. Like China, they're thinking 100-year terms. We're thinking 4-year terms. Look, 4 years ago, this last 4 years, it got destroyed. And then Trump comes in, he's fixing it back up. But it's like 4 terms is too short. You got to think longer, 100 years. I'm taking care of my grandkids.
So I listened to the guy that was he's Colombian, Yokoi Kenji. Yokoi Kenji.
Yeah.
So he was born in Colombia and taken to Japan. And the culture there's like, you have a business, your business starts to be successful 20 years from now. As Cuban, I'm gonna talk for me. Cubans want a business to be successful next year, like in a year from now.
Yeah.
No, right now. It's got to give me the car. It's got to give me the house. It's got to give me everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like a business is really a business after 20 years of being in business. And we're only getting started. So that's how you give 2-3 generations down.
Yeah, you're spending it all today.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's like a hangover, It's like we're drinking to have fun, but you got to make sure it's worth to do it with this person and have a nice cigar or whatever, because like you're borrowing the happiness from tomorrow. It's what you're doing with the money. You're buying the car now. You're buying this. You're putting you're stretching your dollars. Like, you're spending it all right now. Like, what about the future?
Yeah.
And we have that in Miami, especially for immigrants. But keep in mind, people like me and you, we have to overcome things like that, because if not, we'll never understand. We just keep repeating the cycle. We got to get the car today. We got to get this today. For example, you have a Range Rover. Damn well Range Rovers are the most unreliable cars, but damn, they're sexy.
And they're comfortable.
And unless you got the insurance, unless you got a brand new car with that big old bill and you bought the insurance and everything, it's okay for you to have the car.
Yeah.
But buying a second generation after 30,000 miles, last thing you want, that's not what you want to do, boy. No. That's not what you want to do.
Bro, honestly, yeah, I'm totally 100% right with that. I've been to the Range Rover dealer in the past 3 months about 4 times now. Simple example about the other day, a tire $700. I bought the warranty on it. Yeah. It's like, okay, you take it to the range now. It's like the other day was the battery. Like, this is always broken. To be honest, like,
don't buy the McLaren if you're not gonna afford it. You know what's gonna happen
if you don't have warranty on it. Like, imagine how taking that to another place. Yeah. They're gonna put whatever battery in there. It's still $1,000. Yeah.
All right. So let me see.
I'll start out with the questions. So you spoke about the cigar lounge. You're opening up where?
Downtown Miami. Yeah. So downtown Miami has the fastest and strongest development anywhere in the United States. There's 54 cranes right now.
54 cranes in the air.
Yeah. And I think California has 12, like LA. I remember Chicago had 17. That's a lot of cranes. I mean, just think about it like this. Where we live, you can see 3 right from the balcony.
There's cranes everywhere.
Yeah. The one behind us also. Yeah. They're about to put up right now. There's a lot of cranes here. Miami is growing. I don't think it's going to slow down. But downtown Miami got wrecked. I don't know what Miami used to look like before it got wrecked, But there's a lot of homeless people, and now they're starting to get rid of them, all that good stuff. So what we decided is that we're going to get on First Street. The other First Street already got fixed, so it looks nice. Okay. They got nice like that brick, that nice brick you can drive on. The streets are clean. Everything is good. They're kicking all the homeless out, which I think it's a good thing. and we're next. So it's gonna be somewhere in the next year they're gonna get to our floor. So by that time, we know, we're gonna be struggling for a little bit, but I
Yeah.
don't think so no more. We're right on the Diamond District, and the flow of traffic there is absolutely insane. There's back-to-back traffic all the time. The rappers popping out, people that you don't even know their names of, but they worth something because there's two of the same cars and pulled up in one of the same car. It's like it's just it's insane what type of people go through there.
That's crazy.
So we're nowhere in the right spot. I've always loved cigars, mostly because of my grandpa. My grandpa was kind of a secret smoker, and I always remember the cigars, and it was just a beautiful thing. Oh, by the way, here I got you yeah, I know you're Cuban.
Yeah, I'm Cuban to the heart, man.
My brother-in-law, my sister, just came back from Israel. So this is something
No
you're
way.
never gonna find anywhere. This is for you.
Man, look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this, brother.
Exclusive for Israel. That's not Cuban for you.
No way.
Cuban Israeli. I'm sure you've never had one of those.
Havana, Cuba.
Yeah.
La Gloria Cubana.
Yeah. And I don't really like La Gloria, but that one's a beautiful cigar. That one in particular is very, very, very nice.
Exclusivo Israel. Bro, my allergies are killing me today, but we're going to smoke this in the balcony.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't you put it away?
Whatever you wish. All right. Yeah.
Right off of here, we're going to...
Yeah.
we're going to... Bro, it's crazy because I've invited a lot of people to the podcast, but you being my neighbor, like you said, it's like, this guy's right next door.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I don't even know him. It's like, who are you?
Yeah. Well,
who is him? Who am I? I'm Cuban.
long story short,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think if I were to explain myself, people said if you could do the one paragraph. Well, came from an American family. Most family were either criminals or alcoholics. My family wanted to get me away from there, so I decided, I had a few cousins. I've had, cousins that are killed. I have cousins that have, murdered, drug dealers, anything you can think about, we've had in my family, especially alcohol has wrecked our life.
Wow.
Mom moved us to Indiana. We felt so out of place,
Wow.
There was to the point where I didn't even want to be I would tell people I was something else, like Italian or something like that. I didn't even want to be, people looked so down on us as being Latino. I was so ashamed of being Latino that it just crushed me, but when my mind is a criminal mind.
Right.
Everything I ever think about has always been criminal first. And I don't think people understand how hard it is to have a monster inside of you, and this monster has to be nice today. And then you got to do it over and over and over. I'm going on 17 years now, going on 8 years, and like boom, boom, every day you go to work. Because I can think of the most craziest things in the world, like very fast, very, and I'm so good at this. Then I started to get into law enforcement. And you know what they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I was really good at my job.
Okay.
Put in newspapers, all that stuff. I was really good at my job. But I didn't like it. It didn't feel like me.
Felt like a job.
No, it felt like I was worse then. I was literally the worst person in the world when I was in law enforcement.
Wow.
The worst person in the world.
I think we tend to see that a lot of that anyways.
Yeah. And then, and I was like, man, ever since if I was a kid, I've always wanted to be in the mafia. I've always wanted to be, like a mafia boss. I wanted to own the cigar lounge. I wanted to do, like right now, we're in the cannabis business with a pretty good, thriving, giant cannabis. We took over everybody. We killed everybody that was there first, and I always wanted that.
Yeah.
I didn't have the money.
I know somebody
that did. My brother-in-law, he has money.
Love attraction.
Hey,
Love attraction.
So I kind of sweet talk my brother-in-law. He thinks it's his idea, the CBD thing, but I brought it up to him first. Now we're doing the mushroom thing, and I got him into it too. I'm like, you got the money, so you invest in it, and I just do the sales, and I do what I do, we all.
But it seems to be a thriving partnership.
It is, and the biggest thing, like I was telling you, I naturally think in a criminal way.
Yeah.
And it is hard. It's really hard, to wake up like this every single day, but because of that, and I was and the only difference between me and my family is that we do it legally, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, but doesn't mean everybody looks at me the same way.
Right.
Some people still, call bloody murder on me all the time.
That's crazy.
So I don't really talk about it too much. Now, we're getting away from this. I'm more happy to talk about it now. And,
Right.
some people know the type of people that I work with just by simply looking at my Instagram, which are the types of things I never really post before. Most of my life,
It was more private.
yeah,
than it is
yeah.
now.
Most of my life, I was, been skydiving most of my life. Just skydiving, going everywhere. Just going all around the world, rock climb. Climbing walls. It took me 12 hours to climb. Just been like,
Just
I
to
just
get
been
away.
like that. Yeah.
Just to get away from the mind.
Yeah. No, I just couldn't. It wasn't comfortable being myself, man. I didn't know who I was. I really
Wow.
didn't. I was having an identity crisis, and I didn't know who I wanted to be. Really, I just know I
You
wanted.
lost it.
No, I just know I wanted it. I wanted to be in the mafia. But and I wanted to I wanted to like kind of be like a drug dealer / cigar smoker and all this stuff. And now I'm just playing to my fantasies that I want to. I'm just doing it
Legally.
legally. Yeah. So you became exactly who my teachers thought I was going to become, and that I have fulfilled their wishes, but maybe not the way they expected it.
In a legal way.
In a legal way.
There's always legal
I pay
ways
my
of doing.
taxes.
Yeah, exactly. There's always legal ways of doing whatever you're most passionate about.
Yeah. And I could be doing the exact same thing here in Indiana, and I would be considered a criminal. I tried getting my kid to come live with me, right? This is what they said to me when I came to court. They said, so you're in the cannabis business? Yeah. You do know if you want your kid will be handed, or even though it is legal where you are at right now, it's technically legal here, we were not going to hand over a child to a drug dealer.
No.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I got to start figuring something out, So like now, and I owe this all to my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law has been like my alter ego I've always wanted to have, because he knows business. He comes from money. He knows how to do this. He is, he's 100% Jewish. His parents teach him everything. It's like they always allowed him to do things like that. I come from a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
My mom's always like, don't do this. Don't do that. That could be dangerous. Don't do this.
That's the Latino.
Don't jump out of the plane. Oh, don't, why you keep jumping out of planes? Why, like, no, don't start a business. Don't do this. Like, no, like, like bad things can happen. Don't drive too fast. Everything has been very scarce. My brother-in-law taught me not to be that way.
Ooh.
He's like,
so powerful.
He's like, don't be that way. Because if you're thinking from a scarcity mindset, you're going to overspend your money. You're going to sit there and want to pay for everybody's tab. It's, that's not what you want to do. I mean, it looks cool at the time, but they're going to ask you again.
Yeah.
You're going to be the cool guy. I promise you're going to be the cool guy.
Till you find yourself just hanging out with a very short group of people.
This is what you got to do. I feel like men should have a men group. They should have a strong men figure. And I don't think we should be hanging out with girls too much. I think we should be hanging out with good quality men.
I don't know, man.
Because no, trust me, having good quality men around you will make you more of that. Because
that is true.
We have something different about
that is true.
Girls,
but to my extent is the thing is that we see it a different way. The girls that I hang around with in my life are strictly family. It's my sisters, my mom,
that's
my great grandma.
That's way different.
It's my wife, it's my daughter. So, for example, but look at this. We're going to the cabins. Who are you going with? Oh, it's just me and 5 women. What?
But that's completely different.
See?
No, but we're getting off course here. We're talking about like
that's what I'm talking about though.
We're talking about like
you can't. I see it as what you're trying to say. I think is you can't hang around pleasers. You know what I mean by that? People that are just okay, yeah. Oh, macho. Macho, you look amazing, and it's like
no. I always I think
they're pleasers.
I think my grandpa told me this when I was very young. He said, like, don't try to be the best of the worst. Try to be the worst of the best. And I think that's so cool. And you think about it, you're like, what exactly does that mean? I'm like, okay, if I were to go to Indiana right now, I would probably be the richest person in that little town. That little town. I would buy the biggest mansion. There's a lot of people that live there. They come from the summer, but people that live there, I would be the richest one there for sure.
How so?
I would drive the Ferraris and Lamborghinis. It's just a really small town. We're talking like if you're going if you were driving the speed limit 70 miles an hour, right? Keep in mind then if you're going 70 miles an hour, you would be on Miami Beach from here. Think about how far it is.
Yeah,
If you look at it. That's about maybe a little farther. That's how long it would take you to get to the next town. You know, it's rural. You know, like that's Lafayette. So it's a small town. Man, I'm getting sidetracked. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I feel like if
you're hanging around women too much, it's just a sidetrack for a man.
No, not necessarily. No, I'm talking about men better than you. Men that you know, like I want to be like this guy. I can learn from this guy. We should always be around men that are better than us. We should never be the best where we are because we're always going to help each other. There's a difference between like girls and guys. Me and you, like if you have a problem, like I'm going to rush to help you. Just because simply we're my neighbor, even if I never did a podcast, you're like, hey, look, you know, like I need help with my thing. Yeah, let me go down and help you with the boxes or whatever. Or anything happened. Women, unfortunately, even though there's some very smart women, some very talented women, they don't do the same though. Girls like kind of scratch each other, you know, be like, oh, you could be like, ha, they'll jump in front of each other, they'll hug each other. Hey, did you see? But did you see her ass? It looks frank. They'll do stuff like that, but they can't just build a good system. Us as men, we're like naturally bond together, and we help each other out.
I'm gonna give you a good book so you can take this home. And it's The Way of the Superior Man.
Okay.
Man.
It's a good book.
You read it, let me know.
Okay.
If you got some time to invest in understanding a little bit more of what we're talking about right now, we'll do another podcast.
Okay.
We'll do a whole completely podcast after you read that book. It's, man, it's going to change everything and how you think even about women.
Man, I just feel like, you know, to me.
And so a very good friend of mine now is reading it. And this is what I tend to say. It's not even about the women you're with or who you're going to be with. It's more about how you think and how it makes you think.
Well, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to get to. You know, there's very few women that can like really put you. For example, let's talk about your wife. Okay. And my sister too. And even my girlfriend. But I think I chose my girlfriend because of my sister. You know, my wife.
She's older. Or
I mean, my sister.
Older?
She's younger. My sister and your wife have something very similar.
Okay.
Even though they're very beautiful women,
right?
Ain't no guy going to come and approach them in a way. Because the women like that they're almost intimidating to talk to, and they demand respect when you walk in a room. And you can easily tell that, like, there's a lot of guys that have girlfriends, and they just, you know, like, and guys will be like, oh, mamacita, like, I would do that. But your type of girl, and like my sister, like my girl, the guys look at them a little bit. They're like, oh, they always want to stay up a little. They want to be a little bit more kinder. They'll get up and greet them. Because, like, I'll tell you what, man, if my girl walks in here and somebody doesn't hi to them, I'm not talking to that guy anymore. Yeah. You know, like I want people to respect. I want people to stand up when they come in, you know, inside to see her. And your wife and my sister, they both have that aura to them where they're just like, oh, you know, like, just like,
they're
like,
impressive as fuck.
They're very impressive.
They're very impressive, but I get what you're saying. Ain't nobody
got trying to funny business with them.
Yeah. They give you a very business down to earth. Listen, don't fool around.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I'll check you.
Yeah. Like, don't fool around.
Yeah.
The thing is that, for example, I'll give you a tip though. It's for my wife and I, it's like, I'm the joker. I'm big time joker. That's how people get mistaken though.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh. Well, I thought you were a clown. Well, I could be a clown.
Yeah.
But don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get tested, right?
Be a clown or be that joker.
Yeah, that's how anybody get tested, right? Like, for example, a long time ago, it's like I was at a place and it was like, you saw that girl? And it happened to be my wife. For example, you and I talking, my wife goes by and, bro, you saw that girl? It's a mentality that nowadays I hate, bro. Check it out.
It's kind of gross.
You know, check it out, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
You know who you. And it taught me that lesson right there. It's like, it could be a hottest girl in the world, but I don't know if it's your girlfriend. I don't know if it's your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, I just turn my face around and admire it if I have to.
It's kind of pathetic.
But if you're like, bro, you got hunger problems.
Yeah.
It's just the way I see it, right? It's like, why would you be so interested in other things when you got something? I don't know. I got my queen at home, bro.
Yeah.
I feel good where I'm at. So as a man now, I think it's more of a now thing,
Yeah.
right? That I tend to think that way. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
That's something you develop or something you figured out?
I think
To me, something I figured out.
I think it got developed as my marriage got developed.
Mm-hmm. How long have you guys been together?
So we've been together for 3 years.
3 years?
We've been married 2 years and a half, well, 3 years.
So is the daughter yours or your wife's?
It's hers.
Okay.
Yeah. So but it worked on through the marriage. It's like at the beginning it was like through the marriage it was like, yeah, this is it. This is it, like I'm not gonna let nobody come in. But again, I stay very. I know I let her be herself. I let her be the one that disciplines and tells anybody what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
Because she's the boss. She, at the end of the day, with all hands down, she's the boss.
Yeah.
If I don't please the women in my life, I'm not doing the right job.
That's going back to what I was just saying. Men need responsibilities. If we don't have responsibilities, we just.
But a lot of people they flip that like, no, you got to make me happy. We go home sometimes and it's like, my wife's got to make me happy. My mom's got to make me happy. No. I go home and make them happy.
So you recommended this book. I don't know what it's about, but I think we didn't quite connect what we're saying. So this is what I'm saying. I was bringing it up to the women. I think that a lot of men should hang out with men better than them.
100%.
One of the things is
it's on there.
Hang out with a man that is being loyal to his wife, first of all.
Yeah, for 100%.
Because if they're not, I'm not saying we're not going to wonder. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. We're men. We've got to fight this testosterone. It's going to happen. It's biological. There's nothing we could do about it. It's only been the last few hundred years since what's the name? King, what is his name? King James. The reason why he made the New Testament. He decided, okay, we're going to tax everybody, so you got to get married to one woman. Okay, we're still fighting our urges from a primal, all these thousands of years that we've been alive, and we still got to do it. But, you also got to develop with time, And one of the first things that I look at in a man is he loyal to his wife? If he looks around, whatever, like,
you can look around.
Happens,
Anybody looks around.
But if he's going to betray his own wife and his own family, he's going to do the same shit to you. He's going to do it to you. That's why you got to hang out with good men.
Now I see your point. It's like, it's like, we are, at the end of the day, we come across the same point. It's like,
and then we're going to have these other types together. They're going to be like, oh man, women ain't shit. This. That's something you got to pick a good woman.
Yeah.
You're going to think that. You're going to hear the guys that are saying we can't find a good woman. The guys that are saying, oh, you dress like a tramp, all this stuff. Those are the guys that can't get a woman because they can't even get themselves together. So they're still like, oh yeah, be a man, like, fuck women. Women are below us. They can't even drive.
That's why
bro.
That's
really?
why they attract women in their lives that end up treating them like trash.
Exactly. It's the same thing with women on the other side. If they're like, oh, my ex was this, my ex was that, my ex was this. My last 3 exes was this or that. Guess what? You're gonna be the 5th.
Yeah.
Person to talk about.
If you don't break the cycle, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a cycle in here.
Yeah.
For sure, bro. For sure.
So you got to be able to do that. And to me, I'm gonna be 100% honest. To me, that has been one of the most hardest things for me in my life. But I decided and make the decision in my head that I'm going to be loyal to one girl, because not only do I want to be loyal to this one girl, but she is just my vessel for me to prove to myself that I can hold myself together. Yeah. And if I can hold myself together, I can have a business relationship with you. And I know that I'm not going to be doing the crazy things that I would do before. I know that I'm going to be, I'm going to be loyal to my son, and he's not going to have to worry about nothing. And I know that I'm going to be able to be loyal, especially to myself, and not lie to myself and do things that I might break off like, today, I'm just gonna relax back. No, boy, get to work, man. It all starts with just having that practice, those little bits of practice. Today, I just woke up with my wife. She's beautiful. She's working out. I don't really need to be looking anywhere. She is beautiful because trust me, Some other guy's gonna want her. We all got beautiful wives here.
Yeah.
And it just starts practicing that. Like practice being loyal at home. Or, how they say, fix your home before judging
I
anybody
think
else's.
I think I did that for myself.
That's what I was trying to get to. Like, is this something you just did, or is this something that was just
I did it for myself because having a beautiful woman that can understand you, how I have that relationship with my wife is very rare. Having a beautiful woman that can understand you and also be in business with you, why would I betray this, bro? For myself. Yeah. It's like it got to a time and point in my life where I was like, yeah, that was exciting. When you would cheat and do this and do that, but it's not it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're betraying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're not betraying her. It's not the time that you're gonna do this and that over there. It's you're right here.
Yeah.
You're doing it for yourself.
Yep.
And then you start to create insecurities if you do that.
All the time.
Are you doing it?
Who's the fault? Yeah, who's the fall back on?
Her. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Traffic was that bad 15 minutes? What were you doing those 15 minutes? And then you start to bring on this so many things that when you do things wrong, they start to pop up in your head that I decided not to have those anymore.
Yeah.
So in reality, I stayed loyal to myself.
Exactly.
Because I know what I'm building, it's worth something, right? And like, for example, like 2 years ago, it was like when we started the business, we're starting this for ourselves. The day...
Now you build something together.
The 5 or 10 years from now, if we ever split, you're going to take it all. Don't think that I'm going to be the guy that is going to walk away with trying to take it all. No.
Now imagine hanging out with another guy like you.
We worked it because it was like, we worked this. So whatever it is yours, it's yours. I'm not going to put up a fight. And that's what we kept building with that mentality. It's like, why would we leave now when we have it all? Whenever we come to a little crisis, like, doesn't make sense. We work through harder things.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a simple thing to get over. Let's keep going.
Yep. Have you heard about Solomon?
Solomon, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know about his ring?
No.
So, and I love Solomon. I quote Solomon all the time. I know I've brought him up already a few times.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
But
it's okay.
That's the best part for me of the Bible. He told this guy, bring me a ring. It's going to make me happy when I'm sad. So it's supposed to make him sad. Okay. So he said, bring me a ring that's going to make me happy when I'm sad and sad when I'm happy. And he was having a festivity going on. He was having a good time in life. And the guy finally found that ring. He's like, give me that ring. He runs back and shows us Solomon in the midst of his happiness. And he reads it and he says, this too shall pass. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I was
now that you say it, I heard it before. Yeah. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
Anything in life.
But it's a nice quote, but you got to know the story behind it.
Yeah.
Then it makes a lot more sense. And, and that's what I was thinking to myself. We go into a little something's happening. This too shall pass. You already built 3 businesses. You already know you're going to do it again.
Yeah.
You already know you ain't got to be a 9-to-5 guy. It ain't going to happen. It ain't in you.
Yeah.
I'm
more of a 14, 16 hour worker.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a 9-to-5 guy.
Yeah. And eventually you're going to start getting other people to do your bids, and then you're going to be able to use your mind. Because all the time we have those good ideas is when we're busy.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. When we're not working is when we're being productive. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah. And the harder you work, the luckier you get.
And this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Ayala, tell us where we find you.
Well, my Instagram. Okay, so here
Rene
we go.
Ayala's guy,
So my Instagram is called Millionaire.
Millionaire. ¿Cómo es?
Millionaire. Millón errores. So in English. Now, it sounds like millionaire.
Yeah.
but I had to go through a million errors to kind of figure out what I had to do. A
Mm.
million errors to make that $1 million. A million errors, because you just need one. Then you make that $1 million, So you try a million times, 1 in a million. That's all you need, right? So I called it Million Error, and it just looked cool. So
Okay.
Millionaire on IG. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start doing a lot more podcasts, maybe a little bit more, direct to maybe a certain subject.
Okay.
I gotta, because of you, I actually decided to go start booking some. So
Okay.
yeah.
You can use my spot whenever whenever you want to film.
Oh, awesome. That'd be nice.
Yeah, whenever you want to feel free, we'll talk
I
about
actually
it.
got a few people that you might want to interview.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
some big names you like.
The thing is that as we get as we grow, this is probably our 17th podcast. As we grow, of course, it's gonna get more oriented. Right now, it's just giving a space for you, for my employees, for my wife, for anybody that wants to begin to see what it's like to be on a mic and a camera.
And I promised
And
myself
you
I was
break
gonna do
that
this 3 years
circle?
ago.
And once you break that circle, it's like, okay, now, and there's gonna be people that are gonna say, "Hey, George, thanks to you, now I have the biggest podcast in the world." I'm like, "Oh shit, let's go, man." That's the only thing I can hope for. The day after tomorrow, whatever, you start your podcast, is like, "Yo, George, bro, you did something that you put me out in the spot, whatever it might have been. Thank you." That's all I'm looking for.
Well, thank you very much. Before we end, I want to give you something. So I told you that I'm trying to do good now.
Yeah.
Right. So even though that what I do for work is gangsta, I really want to start providing good stuff for their life. So I got you this magic dose. All right.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that 0.4% of all the mushrooms, over 2 million mushrooms in the world, that are actually called functional mushrooms. That's only about 16 to 20 mushrooms in the whole entire world that are actually considered functional mushrooms. Mushrooms are very interesting. At one point I wanted to be a cheesemaker, and you had to learn mycology. And because of that, it got me interested into mushrooms, and I just never lost my obsession about mushrooms. They're beautiful, beautiful things. They can kill you. They can do all kinds of stuff. They can make you go up in heaven, or they can put you in the bottom pits of hell. It really depends on you. So anyway, so I brought you a magic dose. It's
Dope.
why don't you start trying this? So we got Vitalize, gives you a lot of body energy. Now this one does take about 2 weeks to work. And then we got, this is the one that you can really feel, that you can really feel right away. It's Lion's Mane. If you want your brain to work really well, this is one of the very few products in the world. There's a lot of medicine. Spiritual's has been creating medications for 70 years, hasn't yet came up with medicine. The only things to treat the symptoms. I'm not treating the symptom. I'm going straight to the core. So Lion's Mane is really good for your brain. Okay. If you have good habits, if you don't got gambling problems, you're not, nothing like that. You don't have bad habits. You're not in a bad mood. You're going through a good stage in life and you feel like you're in a flow, take this, because it's going to make you more of that, and it's permanent.
Right.
Okay. Even after you get off of about 20% of that, it's going to be your natural, beautiful you, that person that you manifested, the person that you're really trying to be. When you're in a really hard workflow, take this and it'll make you that person.
Okay.
It's just really awesome. Yeah.
Let's do it.
And then we got Unwind. This is just for relaxing. You take it at night.
Before we go to bed.
Yeah. But the works pretty much describe itself. Beautiful packaging, 3D packaging. We're about to go into some giant retail stores. I'm going to start making some real money now. We're going into like Shein and like a few different things. It's going to be really fun project that we're working on right now.
I love to hear that.
Yeah. And
magic.
The serious money's coming in now. And then we got turkey tail, which is good for like cancer, especially like if you drink, right? Obviously we know it's cancerous. If you smoke, right? We know it's cancerous, right? So you do something to protect yourself. You do something that's going to keep away the boogie out of you. So turkey tail is really good for those types of things. Anything that might be lingering in your body that might, you can take it out. But anyways, descriptions are here. It basically tells you everything. I'll put it back in the bag for you.
Bro, that bag.
And,
so does it come in that bag?
It doesn't come in this bag. This is more of a gift bag, and this is not all of
okay.
it. I just couldn't bring all of it at the same time.
Right.
But I'll give you some more when we get out.
The bag is the bag is.
This is a toiletry bag just to kind of keep you with it. So originally this was for shows when people are going on their shows, and everybody makes a toiletry bag. So like if you just have Magic doesn't feel like it was fun. And you just want something, just gonna do everything. Here's this, but you gotta take, at least 3 of those.
That's
There you
nice.
go. Enjoy.
Yo, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for giving me the space.
I think we'll be here soon. I think we'll definitely be here soon. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, subscribe, hit like, all the above. I love you guys. Let's get it.